What is up, everybody? My name is Ben, or Vortex Nitro XP, or whatever you want to call me, and welcome to Battlefield Hardline. Yes, your eyes were not deceiving you. I just recently downloaded the Battlefield Hardline open beta. This game is pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. I gave it a lot of flack because it's like cops and robbers, and everyone said that this Battlefield is a little bit more arcadey, but you know, I think this Battlefield definitely has a similar feel to Bad Company 2. And I haven't played Battlefield Bad Company 2 that much, to be 100% honest. I played Bad Company 2 whenever I went over to a friend's house, so I never actually owned it. But overall, I think this Battlefield definitely has potential to be what everyone thought being Bad Company 3. I mean, I'm not saying that this game is Bad Company 3, but it definitely has a similar feel to the little bit of Bad Company 2 that I've played. But another thing is that after this Battlefield dies down, and the next game that DICE is releasing after this is the new Star Wars Battlefront. So I'm real excited for that game, certainly. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so yeah, I went into this commentary not really having much to talk about other than this game. This game, it has a very interesting concept behind it. You know, when I saw the trailers and stuff, I was like, oh, cops versus robbers. Oh boy, how cool could this be? Well, there's 3 game modes that they have for the beta, if you haven't played it already. There's Heist, which is basically kind of like a capture the bag. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, it's like a capture the flag, except it's with like little money bags, and you go to and the crooks have to go to a safe and transport it back to their exfil, while the cops have to stop them. It's kind of like Rush, only instead of blowing up bombs, you have to capture bags. The second game mode that Battlefield Hardline offers is, I think it's called Hotwire? Can't quite remember entirely, but Hotwire is basically like Conquest, except the cars are the objectives. So you have to drive cars at a certain speed. You have to drive cars around at their top speed in order to be able to get points for your team. And finally is normal Conquest, just your everyday normal Battlefield Conquest, which is what I'm playing here. And honestly, out of the 3 game types, the one that I like to play the most. Now, this might sound weird because I have 3. There's out of the 3 game types, there's the one that I like to play, the one that I think is the most fun, but I'm terrible at, and then the one that I just don't. The one that I just like playing the least, but doesn't mean I still won't play it. The one that I like playing the least is probably Heist. Heist is eh.
I got a suspect in a car.
It's like I said, it's pretty much Rush. So if you're big Call of Duty booty, Heist might be for you. Then there's see, me personally, I'm kind of like a slow gameplay type of guy. Like, I like my intense moments, but overall I like to have, you know, like pretty much slower gameplay. Not saying that I won't play a Call of Duty game every once in a while, but you know, Call of Duty is just kind of a little bit too fast for my liking a lot, most of the time. But yeah, there's some of that zipline gameplay. I fucking love the ziplines in this game, only because like, the thing about the ziplines is that you can literally put them almost anywhere that qualifies as like the range. Like, you either have to have them in a simple range, or it has to be below you. Like, it has to be below you, and it has to be within a certain range limit, but as long as you're within those qualifications, you can literally put a zip line like almost anywhere. It's ridiculous. But what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the one that I'd like to play the least is probably Heist. The one that I think is fun but I'm bad at is the Hotwire game type. It's fun. It is a lot of fun. I suggest that if you downloaded this beta and you haven't played it yet, play it. It is a blast. I don't know how good you're gonna be at it because it does involve a lot of vehicle-on-vehicle warfare. So if you're bad at like hanging out a window and shooting people, then you might not be good at it, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. Like, I don't know if, like, something that it gives you that you never experienced with any of the other Battlefield games is that you can run around on your feet for an endless amount of time and not encounter anyone because everyone's too busy driving around in cars. Like, that's the one thing that game type offers that I've never seen before in a Battlefield game other than in that game type in this game. And then finally, the one that I like to play and that I'm relatively good at is Conquest. Conquest, I've been a fan of Conquest since my first Battlefield game, Battlefield 3. Yes, Battlefield 3 was my first Battlefield. That doesn't mean that that's the earliest one I've played, though. In terms of Battlefield games that I've played all the way back to Battlefield 1943. And Battlefield games that I've owned, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and now this beta. So, yeah. Now I might seem like a Battlefield noob with only those games to play, but like I said, I've played more. I've played the first Bad Company, Bad Company 2, 1943. You know, I've played a lot of the Battlefields. I just haven't owned them. But the Battlefield that I probably played the most time out of in my entire Battlefield career is probably Battlefield 3. That Battlefield was just so great to me. I don't really 100% know why, but just, oh god, something about Battlefield 3 just, I like Battlefield 3. Sorry, it's kind of late in the day, and for me it's still kind of early morning, but yeah, so, you know, Battlefield 3 was just a blast for me. No, I like Battlefield 3 so much. But, here's something interesting that they put in this game. They have command vehicles. Basically what a command vehicle is what I'm in right now. Basically what a command vehicle is it's a vehicle that you can spawn on. Like, you can actually drive it to wherever you want and actually spawn on that vehicle. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever because I can through this game, through Battlefield Hardline right here, I can already tell DICE is going to make an amazing Battlefield, or Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, just from, in terms of like, game types. In terms of like game mechanics, it's gonna be an amazing fucking Battlefront game. Controls I still have yet to see. If it operates something like this, then yeah, it'll be fine. It'll do fine. The only thing, honestly, that I'm not expecting to be good or great for Battlefront, honestly, is the story. I don't know what they're gonna do for a main story mode, if at all they're gonna have a main story mode. I saw some early alpha footage, but you know how that stuff is, you know, like, you know how that stuff on YouTube is. Half of it's a hoax. But so far of what footage I've seen, quote-unquote hoax footage, I call it hoax footage not because I know that it's a hoax, it's just because it could be possible. So, what I've seen from hoax footage is that everything that was in the footage was in first person. And I'm really hoping that DICE doesn't make Battlefront completely first person. Because Star Wars Battlefront had a long history of being in third person, and only in the... first person was an option on the PS2. It was never actually required for you to play in third person. Or first person, for that matter. So, I mean, I hope they leave it a decision, like it was in the other Star Wars Battlefront game. I mean, now, yes, there is the common belief that, and it is true for the majority of the thing, that yes, third person will have an advantage in terms of, like, you know, being able to peek over walls and stuff. But if it's anything like Star Wars Battlefront that I know it, there will be very, very, very few walls to peek over. The only way that I can see third person benefiting you in Star Wars Battlefront is like, I remember the one map, it was Bespin Cloud City. I remember on Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, the only advantage you really have of being able to be in third person is to be able to be up on the catwalks and look down over the side at people on the ground down there. But other than that, I don't really see it. I'm trying to think of all the maps right now. I don't really see much advantage other than just a few spots where you could see people rather than when they're in first person. Pull a GTA, Dice. Pull a GTA and make third person, first person just switchable like that, because that would be amazing. But God, man, just I'm so excited for Battlefront. Like, I hope they don't just make like a bunch of new maps and not have any of the old ones. Some of the old Battlefront maps that I'd like to see were mainly from the first one, actually. I didn't really like very many of the maps in the second Star Wars Battlefront. I liked all the OG ones in the first game, like Cloud City. I forget the name of the map, but there was one where they had like these green ice caves. Comment in the description. Leave a comment. Comment in the description. No, you can't do that. Leave a comment if you know like the maps and stuff that I'm talking about from the first Star Wars Battlefront. But like maps like that one with like the ice caves or whatever, that was an amazing fucking map. There was what other maps were there? There was okay, one that needs to be there is Tatooine, Mos Eisley. That just has to be in there. I don't understand. I can't imagine a Battlefield or Battlefront game not having Mos Eisley Cantina. Like that map. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, one thing that a lot of people didn't know, here, I'll give you guys a little secret. If you ever play the first Battlefield, or Battlefront, god damn it, I keep saying Battlefield because the gameplay is Battlefield and I'm talking about Battlefront. But if you guys ever go back to your old PS2s and play like the original like first Star Wars Battlefront, if you're on, now this rarely happens, and by rarely I mean it rarely happens. Like, it's not that the spawning of it is rare, it's the fact that can you draw out the match long enough for you to hold it. But if you are on the evil side, whichever one's the evil side, if you're playing on clones versus droids, it's the droid side. If you're playing on Galactic Era, it's the Galactic Era, it's the Empire. And basically, if you capture the spaceport area, in the very back where those two turrets are, near where the pillars are, if you go back there, an AT-ST or a droid tank, whichever side you're playing as at the moment, that will actually spawn for you, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. You know, maybe in the future, if I ever get like an actual recording device or something, and I manage to hook it up to my PS2, I might buy that game again and show you guys all this stuff. But anyway, this has been Battlefield Hardline. I might get this game when it comes out. I don't know. I'm still debating. I'm still playing the beta. So, like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment that Battlefront map, that Ice Caves one, if you know what I'm talking about. And subscribe to see more videos of mine. And as always, thank you for watching, guys. Bye!